Okay, hello everybody. This is Seth Melamed. I'm the CEO of Liquid Group, and today I am joined by Matthew Lim, who is the co-founder of VIDY, which is an exciting new project that's bringing e-commerce and blockchain together and creating a very interesting project, which we're going to go into more details today. Matthew, welcome.
Thank you, Seth. Hi, everyone. My name is Matthew, and I'm co-founder of VIDY.
Matthew, can you just tell us a little bit about your background before you got into the VIDY project?
Yeah, so I did my undergrad in Singapore at the National University of Singapore, and after graduation, I started at Credit Suisse as an investment banker for a couple of years, and then I made the switch straight to startup in San Francisco, and then since then, I've been with VIDY for the last 5-6 years.
Awesome. And before we get into the project, and I got a demo of the project about 6 weeks ago, and we'll get to it a bit later. But I'm just incredibly impressed with this technology, and so pleased that that we're going to be listing the VIDY project on Liquid. It's really innovative, and it's just a great use case. But before there was VIDY coins, there was Bitcoin. So I'd like to hear the first time you ever acquired Bitcoin, how that happened, and what was your experience?
Sure. So we started the company sometime in 1516, and back then, we started from being a tech company without the blockchain component.
Mm.
We only actually entered the blockchain scene sometime in 18 when we started to play around with how blockchain technology could further enhance the product that we've built in terms of incentivization and gamification on the web. So that was really the time when I first started to look at Bitcoin and the other coins and Ethereum, and I decided to buy some because I was quite a believer in it, in what it could do. But I bought at a high, but I also bought at a low, so averagely it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I never had the intention to sell because
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that we are very early in the industry, and I think it's going to be the future, and I'm just going to hold and take my chances on that. Yeah.
Great. Okay, cool. So ahead of this AMA, we crowdsourced in a decentralized manner questions from the community using Twitter. And we got some great questions here, so let's jump right into it. So
Sure.
first question, Matthew, we got from Akusia Pakusayap 3.
Okay.
And question is, how would you explain the main features of VIDY network in a simple manner? There's a lot to understand when you go into the details, but just a general overview.
Sure. I mean, it's a great question because that means she actually or he actually really understands the project, because there are many components of VIDY, and to explain it in one line is going to be difficult, but I'm going to try my best. So essentially what VIDY is we are a web technology. Essentially, if you think of it as an invisible layer that rests on top of any web page on the internet, right? And this is done via an integration with our technology through an SDK or JavaScript that is put on a company's website or a publisher's website. So essentially, when you do that, you essentially have VD's technology on your pages in an invisible form. And what it allows you right now to do is it gives you more inventory for you to engage with your audience. So in the past, or actually currently, the most valuable thing on a web page or a website is the space, because the space is where you get advertisement, is where you can put pictures, videos, and engagement, right? But there are tons of space that are wasted, and that is your text. So any word on your page is actually wasted content, because it fills space, but nothing can come out of it. So we have the hyperlink, which is when you click it, you jump out of the page. But right now, what VD has done is, with this invisible layer, it allows you to now put videos, content into hyper relevant words that are relevant to what you're reading, and you to be able to experience more than just what you're reading, without having to open a new tab, without
Right.
having to go to another page, right?
Right.
And that's essentially what we've put in terms of the
Right.
technology.
Right. And there's more. So we'll get to it in subsequent questions. It's like, I don't know, there's many layers to what you guys have built that I was extremely impressed with in terms of innovation. But let's get to the next question, and it's actually from myself.
Okay.
And do you think that VidyCoin can be a mainstream token in the future, since you're one of the few projects that has actually adopted sort of a blockchain use case with an actual, working websites and e-commerce, right? There's a lot of talk and hype in our industry. There's obviously, in the DeFi world, there's a lot of sort of people are kind of disrupting banking and financing and yield. But in terms of use case for actual business and commerce, the number of use cases are just still not that great.
Mhm.
Vidy is, I am convinced, one of them. So the question is, do you think with what you've built, there's a chance for VidyCoin to become as prevalent as an Ethereum or a Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, and it's definitely something that has always been on our minds since we started the project and since we started to have our own native tokens. The whole idea behind us was we wanted to build, a product, and if you look at how we built the product and how we've designed the product, it is always, relevant to, the application of this token system and everything we've built. Basically, we always have the consideration of our clients, which is the publishers and the advertisers,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we always ask ourselves the same question. Whatever token economics that we build or whatever token structure and framework that we want to implement, we always ask the first question: would the advertiser be okay with it? Would a publisher like Vogue, like CNN, some of our big clients be okay with implementing our coin, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we had such a structure. And I think because we've always had that at the back of our minds, we are able to now see massive adoption, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just for our audience, today, like Vogue magazine, has adopted cryptocurrency. Asia One, which is a mainstream news portal in Singapore, has adopted our cryptocurrency. Brands, big brands, such as Muji, have adopted our cryptocurrency. And I firmly believe that, once we get more and more adoption, we can certainly become a mainstream token. And this is because we have real value, real adoption, real utility,
Mm-hmm.
right? It might be slow because a lot of people are still not in crypto, but the moment we start to see that shift and infrastructure starts to build out,
Yeah.
then it's going to be at the forefront of that. And, I'm really excited, when that happens for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And I want to go to the next question. By the way,
Sure.
just as an interview, I think we talked about just on the technology and what you've created. I've had the benefit of seeing the demo live with you, actually. And I think the first part is you've created this unobstructive or unobtrusive way for a video to show without jerking the person to another website, and they end up with like 20 tabs on their browser, which I personally hate. And that's one thing. But then the second key point here is that you've embedded the token economics into this framework that you built that sits on top of the websites. And it's a very elegant, unobtrusive way to start introducing the use of cryptocurrency with publishers and consumers. What I would just say is, we can talk about it. It doesn't do it justice. So we'll be sure to keep a link um, of some of your partners and the use cases of ViDy, like in the links. I've never actually done that before, but I'm sure our team can figure it out,
Yeah.
where they can maybe get a demo of
Right.
how
Yeah.
this works, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool.
Great.
So we'll do that. Okay, so next question is from Max Donal 9. Advertising is growing from television, Facebook, YouTube, newspapers, everywhere there are ads. The appearance is too much rampant and sometimes causes discomfort to the user. So what is VidyCoin's solution for users to enjoy watching ads?
I think that's a fantastic question. One of the core, when we designed the product, or the core principle behind what we built, is the fact that we wanted to give the power back to the user, right? And if you look at what we've built, right, the advertisement does not show on its own. Every view, which we call a view on our platform, is a user-initiated view. That means you know that when a user touches or holds down on that link that they see, they are already engaged, they are already curious about what's behind it, right? And therefore we are different because we give that the autonomy to the user, the authority to the user to watch what he wants to watch and to skip if he doesn't want to watch it, right? That's number one. Number two, with the token system, it then further gamifies the entire experience, because right now not only are you're choosing what you want to watch, but you're getting a little bit of rewards from that. And then with that rewards right now, there's real value behind it. There's also real utility because you can now exchange it for discount coupons and vouchers and merchants and stuff like that, which is fantastic. So I think we've kind of like, made that experience, like what we said in the white paper, we wanted to be a win-win for everyone, not just the advertiser, not just the publisher, but for the user who's spending his time, his data, his attention on these things. And that's how we are changing, the whole landscape of digital advertising.
So I did a demo with you, and I was using it, and it was kind of like crack cocaine, because I'm watching the video and I'm watching myself getting paid while I'm watching the video, and everything else kind of faded away, and I was just focused on that video, focused on that progress bar and getting more tokens and thinking what I'm going to do with these tokens when I've got them. It's really amazing how you've tapped into the gamification and incentivizing people. But I think there's another key point that's really, really important in the theme of decentralization and democratization of finance. You've done something else, which really I thought about it, was you've removed a lot of the intermediaries that are taking value out of the system.
Yeah.
So the publishers and the advertisers, there's less intermediaries between them and the consumers of the content. And there's not these third parties taking a piece of the transaction away. So you as a consumer, you're actually getting compensated for your time in a sense.
Directly.
And
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
and the publishers, they're more directly incentivizing, they're sort of getting a better bang for the buck, because there's less intermediaries between the provider of the content and the consumer of the content. It gets
Yeah.
right in there. And
Exactly.
and that's a great thing that I'm really excited about. And to me, it's part of, again, decentralization, democratization. So well done. Really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so next question is from Hoavui. Hoavui. Sorry if I've got that pronounced wrong. Can you tell us your long-term vision about the potential of advertising market, and that the advertising market that Vidi operates in? Are you afraid that someday new projects will come out there, share the same ideas, but with better technology, and gradually replace Vidi? Whoa, whoa. Okay.
Okay. I mean, we get this question a lot, and as any startup and any new technology out there, there's always this fear, yeah, or there's always this potential that someone bigger might come and do something better with what you've done. But I think with Vidi, what we've done is something very special, and I always, emphasize that how difficult it is to replicate what we've got because of the various components of the project, right? You see, back in 2016, when we built the product, it was a great product, right? But then the product without the token is an entirely different product. We only launched the token system late last year with Vogue, and you could see the numbers were incredible. And ever since we launched the token and this whole reward system with crypto and blockchain on the websites, we've got increasingly, demands from all brands, advertisers, publishers who are wanting to get on board because they see true value in not just how this gamifies the experience, but this allows them to connect with users directly, right? In a way that they've never been able to connect before, right? And so you can see that we've built various aspects of the project, right? We have the technology, the core tech that we've seen, but we also have a token system that is, very well thought out and built, right? We are also, right now getting listed on exchanges like yourself, that have fiat conversions, right?
Yeah.
So this allows, really people to buy VIDY easily and to cash out easily. And one more thing is that because it's so unique what we've built, no two companies can be integrated on the same website. So there's a first mover advantage, because it's not like advertising networks where you can have 5 networks on a page and they bid for spaces for ads. For Vidi, you only can have one, because you cannot have a page where you have multiple links
Right.
and different things.
Right.
So there's this first mover advantage, which is very important. And
Right.
as long as we continue to keep up the good work, in terms of the tech and stability, it's going to be very difficult for someone to come and replace us.
Yeah.
And that's why even after so many years, nobody has done anything close to what we've done.
Right.
And that's
great. That's great. You're creating a moat. There's no doubt. And I just also want our viewers to understand, indeed, that's a key point, that when you acquire your Vidi, I think one of the reasons why we felt like this is such a great partnership is that we know that there's going to be a real demand for that exchange. And one of the interesting things that we've done with some of our technologies is that now you're able to swap your Vidi once you've acquired it. You could swap it into 100 different digital assets, or I guess we have maybe 10 or so different fiat assets that you can easily swap your Vidi to using our quick exchange product. It happens immediately. You can then do your withdrawal. You'll get sent to your wallet in a very short period of time. But we've really abstracted away the challenges of using a traditional exchange where there's lots of order books and stop orders, limit orders, and it's very confusing. We've just made a very simple user interface that once you've got some Vidi, you could say, hey, I want to get some Singapore dollars, or I want to get some Ethereum, click a button, converts, and you're done. And so I think that's, one of the elements that I'm really excited about partnering with a project like yours that has a real world use case. We feel like we built some real world payment rails and conversion tools that complement very well with what you've done in terms of utility for consumers and publishers. So I can't wait to get the listing and extending our partnership.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so next question is from Lewis 102997. I see Vidi has run on many famous websites like CNN Indonesia, Bureau, Transmedia, Vogue, Vogue Singapore, but I've not seen any Chinese websites. Is Vidi heading towards this market?
Interesting. Yeah, so obviously, we want to be in China, and we are definitely working towards getting on some China websites. We've had some integrations with Hearst China, Elle Magazine as well. We did testing and everything is good. It's just that because of resource constraints, and because our market is so huge right now in Indonesia and Singapore and in Southeast Asia in general, we are focused a lot there in terms of the business and the business revenue model and stuff like that there. But definitely, China is on our radar, and we are slowly working towards it. The landscape in China is also different with media companies. They are very regulated. So there's a lot more regulatory things and that we need to kind of overcome. But that is definitely something that is on our minds, and we hope to be able to work with someone of significant size in the near future.
Excellent, excellent. So next question is from Sabotaldusini1. Why the Vidi project presents its second token, namely VIDYX? And just as an aside, Liquid is very proud to be listing both the Vidi token, the ERC20, as well as VIDYX, which is the Tron version. And those will be listed today, Friday, February the 5th at 3 p.m. JST. It'll be listed on a Liquid Global Exchange. So the question here is, what is your motivation to have both the dual token structure, the VIDY and the VIDYX? And what are the differences between the two?
Sure. I think that's a very good question to address as well, because I'm sure a lot of viewers or people would have that in mind. So just to share that, when we built Vidi in 2018, we did it on Ethereum, and we thought it was great. Obviously, Ethereum is one of the leading blockchains around, and we built it on Ethereum. But in recent times, when we started to actually roll out the token, on publishers' websites, and with the amount of traffic that we got and the amount of transactions being phased out every day when people watch videos, gas fees are just not practical. It's too expensive, and also pretty slow. So because of that, we decided to toy around with the different options we had, and definitely Tron TRC10 provided a solution to us, which was because there's negligible gas fees involved, and it's technically quite quick as well. And therefore, we decided to then launch VDX on the Tron blockchain, right? But the other reason for this is also we want Vidi to continue to be the platform token that is more the B2B token. So publishers, advertisers, right? They will get familiar with Vidi, right, as a platform token. They use it for staking, for ad prioritization, and certain feature upgrades that they get access to with VIDY coin. But VDX will be the C2C coin. So the one that you get rewards with, the one that you spend, the one that you basically to the masses. So we wanted to have, obviously, people ask us, why can't we just have one token then, right? But we wanted to keep it very clear that one was more for the business guys, our enterprises like CNN and Vogue, and all these guys. And the other one will be for the user base, basically the masses in general. So having a two token system right now helps us to allow to clarify that, so that there's not so much complication, because with VDX also we are going to have a little bit of a DeFi component attached to it, where you can start to stake on data profiles and start to earn VDX for every campaign. And these kind of economics, if we try to educate our media, our publishers, our advertisers, it's gonna be too troublesome. So we want them to just know that, hey, guys, you just stick with Vidi, you just stake Vidi, you just hold Vidi, you use Vidi for your campaigns. All right, you don't have to worry about what VDX does, in terms of how the crypto players want to play it, or want to stake it, or want to use it to stake data profiles, because these are more the consumer facing aspects. So I think having two tokens just helps to simplify the concept of it for our clients as well. Yeah.
Gotcha. Excellent. I mean, so uh, as CEO at Liquid, I look at the gas fees and the transaction fees, mining fees, all the time. In fact, as we're talking, I'm looking at the gas fees. So last night, the ERC20 gas fees were anywhere between $18 to $28, oftentimes over $20 for ERC20s. This is not sustainable. We need a solution. We need it now. And I think there's great work happening on the Ethereum blockchain. There's obviously tremendous amount of innovation in Ethereum 2.0, proof of stake. So some of these issues are going to be resolved, but the reality is today there's real scalability issues,
Yeah.
and there's exciting innovative projects with real token economics, use cases, utility, and these like crushingly high transaction fees are an issue that we need to work around. So I applaud you for being creative and innovative, and trying to come up with solutions to the roadblocks you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So next question is from Star CryptoFi. Do you have any plans to attract non-crypto investors to Vidi who are still not in the crypto world, which, believe it or not, Matthew, is probably about 98% of the planet at this stage, just saying. Um, who are not in the crypto world, especially as a new project entering entering into crypto, what are the plans to increase awareness about VIDY around the non-crypto space?
Okay, very good question. So, one of the missions that we have internally in the company is also what we call bringing crypto to the masses. And because I truly believe that, yeah, well, crypto is really hot right now, with all the prices going up and, a lot of people making money. But an industry is not really complete, with only, as you said, 2% of the population being in it, right? And obviously there are huge barriers of entry to coming into crypto, the complications, how difficult it is to set up all these things. Infrastructures are being built, but not complete. But I think with VIDY, we have this advantage because we've built a system that is so seamless, right? Just to share with you guys, when we launched on Vogue and also Asia One, there were almost 400,000 VIDY wallet signups from the non-crypto world. So all these are users on Vogue, on Asia One, right? Within a span of just like 1 or 2 months, because
Sorry, did you, how many?
400,000.
400,000.
Because they have to sign up to get their reward, right? So these guys who got their reward, they sign up on the VIDY wallet. And yes, they are not in crypto yet because it's just a sign up process. But this is the potential that we've got, because these guys they still don't know what to do with their coin. A lot of them they redeem for items, but a lot of them are just sitting there. They don't have they may not even know that VIDY is traded somewhere or has a value, or they can.
Right.
So what we are doing is that we've actually built a bridge between crypto and non-crypto in such a seamless manner that people may not even know that they are in crypto.
Right.
And that's why we see the opportunity of how we want to slowly start to educate, slowly start to bring these guys into the crypto. And which is why, our partnership with Liquid is amazing, because, we want these guys, for example, in the Singapore websites, the Singaporeans, to then know that, okay, 100 VIDY coins actually worth some Sing dollars that you can go to Liquid and liquidate, right?
Yeah.
And this is to really showcase, the real use case of our token. So I think, to answer that question is that we intend to, because we think that's the future, right? Although, a lot of blockchain projects don't care about the non-crypto people, because all they care about is the crypto community and, buying power from the crypto. But I believe that if we are able to be the first project to build that bridge and allow non-crypto people to come in easily, I think we have a very big future ahead of us.
Yeah, agreed. And one more point. When we met maybe about a month ago, and we went through the project, I think there's another key point that you didn't mention, is you've made it really easy for the publishers to integrate your ecosystem and made it as seamless as possible. So you've really tackled reducing friction. And when all of us in the industry, Liquid, VIDY, when people start thinking of crypto not as crypto but as money, then we've really achieved something that people think it is as ubiquitous and as easy to use and hold and send around as money. Then it's really somewhere, and I really think we're heading towards that. And the kind of work that you guys are doing and what we're doing at Liquid, I think is really, really a part of that evolution of bringing it to the next billion people.
Yeah, exactly. And I forgot to mention one more thing, is that we built the product such that users don't even have to download anything. You don't have to download an app. You don't have to download any extension. You just go to the websites that you go to and you experience it. And I think that is something that we've done, learning from what BAT did, where you needed to download their browser. We didn't want to do that. We wanted it to be as seamless as possible. That's the reason why we have a lot of adoption as well, because every time we partner with a publisher, all their users become potential crypto users.
Right.
The moment they open this feature, yeah.
Right.
So
wonderful. Matthew, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for today. We have some winners for their questions that were submitted to us via crypto. Each of the winners will get $100 of either VIDY or VIDYX. And we have two winners today. One is Lewis at Lewis102997. Congratulations, Lewis. And our second winner, asking about how, so Lewis was asking about your expansion into other regional markets like China. And second winner is Star Crypto FI, who asked the question about, how you're going to bring crypto to the 98% of the world that doesn't have crypto. So congratulations to both. You'll have a choice of $100 equivalent of VIDY or VIDYX. And again, we're looking forward to having the VIDY project hosted on Liquid and further collaborations as we bring in the next billion people into the blockchain ecosystem.
Yes. Thank you, Seth.
Thank you, Matthew.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to stop recording.